Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'll be sharing these episodes with Nay. We're certified psychic mediums, and this is season 2 of Hello from the Other Side. During the season's episodes, we'll be connecting independently to the energy of a missing child from the United States. All we've been given is a name, a photograph, and the year they went missing. As you watch, you may begin to notice moments where our readings overlap or where similar evidence comes through. We hope that the insights shared today might bring comfort, clarity, or may even assist those still searching for these precious children. At times, you might notice that our independent readings seem quite different from one another. This doesn't mean that those differences should be dismissed. Sometimes the pieces that seem unrelated at first do come together to reveal the whole or different parts of the story. So please remember the information we share is received psychically. It reflects our intuitive impressions and should not be taken as factual or verified information.
Okay, so tonight connecting into the soul of a young boy called Jaime Lefebrevre. I have his photograph and I'm just going to take a moment to connect in. Okay, and I can see immediately Jaime comes through with a pair of really baggy jeans on. So I think this is just sort of his dress sense, okay? Really baggy jeans and sort of a dirty wash shirt as well, like a cotton shirt that's been washed so many times it's peeling. So I can see that he's wearing that. He's making me aware of loud music as well, so I feel as though he enjoyed listening to music. And I feel he may have even played music as well, but very talented when it came to music. They're telling me he didn't really excel at much, but he really liked music and was good at that as well, and recognised for that too, being made aware of that. I feel as though he received awards for music. And because I see him sort of being presented with something there, like it almost feels like a medallion being put over his head for music and having that talent. In terms of his parents, I feel as though his father was quite involved in music as well, making me aware of that because I feel there's a guitar that comes in there. Also being made aware of where they were living. I feel as though their home is it's quite green around their home, so really rich, luscious green plants all around the outside of the home. But I do feel as though they're in a town because he's showing me sort of like the burbs. I feel as though I'm in the burbs here, just cement driveways and paths around the homes. So that's how it's coming across here. Okay. He's making me aware of getting picked up in a vehicle, and I feel as though he's been picked up in a vehicle driven by friends. I feel as though there is smoking in that vehicle as well, that they're smoking marijuana in that vehicle, and I feel as though he's sort of seated in the back of the vehicle in between two boys there. I feel as though he may have been the third person to be collected. So still one person to be collected, and they're all going somewhere together. All of these boys dress very similarly. It's all boys in pants with pockets, like cargo type long pants. I don't feel as though they all go to school together, but I feel as though they knew each other. So there's at least two that go to school together, and it almost feels like quite a rich school or like a private school. And then the other two just don't really feel as though they go to school together there. And I feel as though he doesn't go to the private school. I feel as though he's a public school kid that knows these private school boys because they're not in class together. That's how he's making me feel around their relationship here. But it's like they know each other from like childhood sports, that sort of acquaintance. And there's a relationship with the sister, a sister of one of these boys as well. I feel she's close in age, and he's bringing up that relationship with the sister. It feels as very crush energy there with him and this sister. So as though there was another boy in that group, in that vehicle, who had a sister and who he had a crush on, or there was a bit of flirting going on between them there. I want to say that she has like a C or a K name, and that it might end with the sound E. Like almost want to say like Cami or... Okay, and I do feel as though they're driving to a party, making me aware that it's a party on at someone's house. I don't feel as though there's parental supervision at this party. It feels as though it's just a teen party, teenagers getting together and getting up to mischief. Like I am seeing like beer bongs and the beer pong and these sorts of things. At this party, there's a lot of loud music. Like a lot of, as you would expect at a teenager party, but just like people making out, people breaking things in the house accidentally. I do feel as though it's in a nice house and it's as though mum and dad are away and a child's hosting a party here. I don't feel as though they were necessarily invited to this party. He doesn't know the person hosting it, or she dresses him when he comes in like, you weren't invited. Something along those lines. But it seems as though she knows the other boys in that group, and they sort of vouch for him and bring him in. So I don't feel as though he knew the person that was hosting this party. It feels like a girl that's hosting this party. Okay, and I am being made aware of him not drinking that much. So I do get the sense that another boy there like puts his arm around him and he feels, oh, this guy's drunk. So I don't feel as though he was drinking that much, if at all. Actually, no, he is drinking, but he's not drunk the way other boys are here at this party. I feel as though there was something on the next day for him as well, and that's the reason why he didn't drink. Or drink excessively the way the other party goers are drinking. I feel as though the police may have attended this party as well, because it is quite a rowdy party, and I feel as though they are showing me like getting back into the car here at this point and driving. And I'm being made aware of a wharf now as well, like a jetty, a really long jetty. And one boy in particular sort of leading them down this jetty. I feel like there's about 4 boats parked or docked at this jetty. And a couple of them have lights on, and so they don't enter those boats. What are they doing? And then I feel as though they board a boat here. Very drunk. Some of these boys in this group are really drunk. I do get the sense that they're legless, how I would describe legless, like having difficulty walking as they get onto this boat. Because one of them almost face plants as he gets on, like super intoxicated. This doesn't feel like a super yacht or a super expensive boat. It just feels like a boat. What kind of boat is it? Speedboat. The person that owns the boat's not here. I feel as though they almost drove off as well without having removed the rope from the jetty, as though someone just got this bright idea to drive it off because the keys are in it, because the keys were left in it. I think there's a restaurant nearby, because I'm just being made aware that the keys were left in it out of habit, and the fellow that owns the boat, it feels male, is near, and perhaps with a female companion, eating nearby, and they've left the keys here in the boat because someone turns the keys on the boat, and they just went there to drink and sort of hide out and drink in the boat, but the keys are in there, and so they've just like, they've done this before as well. He's making me aware they've done this before, where they've like boarded someone's boat and got drunk there and like left bottles and things around, made a real mess, and then left because they don't have anywhere to go back to. There's nowhere else. This is like the after party, really. And they have more booze in the car. There's quite a few of them too. How many boys are there? Okay. Like, there's at least 4 boys. 5, 6, how many boys? 2, 3, 4. There might be 5 of them. And one of them, I would describe him as the alpha male, discovers the keys in the ignition of this boat and drives. I feel as though they may have actually damaged that jetty as well. Perhaps there was, with the rope attached to it, like he's driven and like ripped it off. He seems very confident driving this as well, like because he pushes it forward. He's driven a boat before, this kid. Okay, and I feel the boat spinning now too, like doing donuts in the water. It's a real joyride. And it's very funny and it's very adventurous, and there's a lot of adrenaline running through their bodies while this is happening, because they're really just out for a good time. This is just kids behaving really badly. Some of them feel a little untouchable, like nothing could ever happen to us. Even if they caught us, we'd never get in trouble. There's a level of protection that they feel they have. I do wonder whether one of their parents is a lawyer or high up in the police. It feels as though there is some fake sense of protection there. That's not his parents. His parents very much give me the vibe of perhaps even a teacher or a lecturer at a university. That sort of energy from his father. I actually think one of these kids has been thrown by the boat as well while they're spinning. I just saw someone just fly out of the boat. Because it's almost how many can I spin out when I do that, you know? How many? Yeah, so if I'm driving this boat and I don't think this boy's driving the boat, I don't think Jamie's driving this boat, but this other kid that's driving the boat, like he spins it really hard to the left, and this thing is just doing these donuts, and there's a kid that's just flown off the side of the boat. But they're too far from the shore to swim. And it's almost as though the driver thought it would be really funny to throw everyone off the boat here. Okay, I am seeing the boat submerged as well here. So it's like the boat's fallen over in this act of spinning like this. It doesn't feel as though they're in open ocean. This doesn't feel like I'm at a beach. I feel as though it's still in flat water. But perhaps in their own wake, spinning the other way, and it's just created a bit of an obstacle, and the boat's just gone sideways. And just the weight of it. He's making me aware of like the Titanic as well in this space. And it's almost as though he thought to himself, must have been how they felt on the Titanic, like the sinking ship. This is just like a boat that's gone down, upside down, and just slowly gone down. Gosh, I feel this child drowned. And there was just no way he could get out of this situation. Because the weight of the clothes as well, making me aware of like trying to kick a door while I'm wearing jeans, like just very difficult to open the door. It's like the pressure of the water doesn't let him do it. This feels like a massive misadventure. I feel like all of these children actually perished in this. And being made aware of a joint memorial for these kids as well. Being made aware of someone singing at this memorial too, a young female singing at this memorial. And families that didn't know each other before getting to know each other. So the parents of these children meeting. So a couple knew each other, but others didn't. And it's almost like they were united in their grief here. And being made aware of like a search and rescue effort where they were looking for them and they were so close. He's showing me like divers, and it's like they stopped maybe 10 meters from where they were, like just so close to where they were, where this boat was. And showing me it's just like a really still night on the water after that. No trace. He is telling me that another fisherman or someone pulled something up in a net and it's part of the boat. I feel as though it's wooden. It feels like some sort of wooden, it's thicker than a flagpole. But I feel as though that surfaced and was actually picked up by someone, by a fisherman. How can we find you? Getting the name Lucas as well here. So I don't know if that's one of the friends that he's with. And a Tony. Lucas and Tony comes up. He is making me aware of new technology as well, having the capability of being able to locate them. It's almost as though where he was, they just didn't have the resources. And just being made aware now, it's like those resources are available. But there's not any more search efforts going on to find them because it was some time ago. The way he's dressed, it feels like the 90s, just in these like jeans, khaki, and I'm hearing Nirvana. I feel as though this is the 90s. I want to say maybe 96 they went missing. Because I'm hearing that song, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Making me aware of results coming out for him as well there. And when I say results, it's almost as though I passed away and then I got the outcome. like a good outcome or like good results came through for me. Perhaps academic results. Maybe there was some sort of offer, but it's like it came by mail, this offer or these results. And like it was very, had I been alive, my parents would have celebrated, but receiving it in the mail, all his mother could do was cry. Parents are very practical here, and they almost feel a bit spiritual too. So I do feel as though they're quite connected, and they're resolved that they won't see their son again, and they feel as though he has passed. And his message for them is around, it was a very peaceful passing. He was aware of where he was and what had happened, and takes responsibility for that. But the passing was very peaceful. He's also making me aware of being greeted by people there. Who's that? That's Grandma. Okay, and I feel it's Mum's mum there that greets him. There's also a dog that comes through there as well for him, making me aware of a dog. This feels like a childhood dog for him, because the way it shows it to me, it's like this dog could throw me down with its body weight. I said Lassie, so I don't know if it was some sort of English collie or if its name was actually Lassie, but that's what's coming through there for that dog. Making me aware as well of the things that he enjoyed doing here. So actually showing me being outside, showing me like skate parks. I wonder if he skated as well. It feels like more skateboard for him, and how his parents sort of drive past and see these things as well. But he's very much at peace. This really was a tragedy and a misadventure by teenage boys, but he's very much at peace now.
Okay, I'm getting an impression of someone sitting kind of cross-legged really casually in jeans on my left-hand side, so I feel that he's passed. Before I begin any kind of reading, I do quickly kind of touch base with my guide, and I did get the impression through just that quick connection with my guide that this was a tragedy as well, and that he had passed. I'm hearing accidental. I was going to talk a little bit about Jaime, but I'm hearing going back to that day straight away. I'm seeing goofing, playing. Looks like a group of males. I'm not seeing any females, maybe kind of outdoors, moving around. I get the impression that they're drinking or carrying a bottle, or carrying bottles of alcohol, or have had alcohol and kind of goofing around under the influence and having fun. I feel like it's cold. This jacket's, it's like breezy. They're near water. They're hanging out, skimming stones, pushing each other around. Jamie feels quite quiet in that group, quite thoughtful. He is having a good time as well. He's just not the kind of the clown, the funny one. There's a guy with shorter dark hair. Funny. He's very funny. Louder. There's kind of ringleaders and there's followers. And Jamie's more of a follower, although he knows his own mind. He's just got a quieter, more thoughtful nature. But, an integral part of the group, kind of it needs the quieter. He's a bit cool. He's kind of lanky. I see he leans forward a little bit when he walks, and his hair comes down a little bit over his face. Got a lovely way of looking at people, kind of turns his head, moves his hair to the side. I feel like he's very, very loved. Um, I don't feel like he's very sporty, but I feel like he likes sport or follows sport. There's kind of the indication of some of the clothes he wears, some of the things on his wall, maybe even a flag for a team or follow sports. He may play sport too. He doesn't have that kind of high school jock kind of appearance. He's a little bit different. He's the kind that could pick up a guitar and have a little strum. Do you think he also would do a little bit of writing? Like maybe he was a kind of a quiet poet. He could put together words really well. He's quite thoughtful. Either near either a maybe it's a big lake or ocean, but I feel like a lake because I'm seeing just quiet lapping and quiet sounds rather than waves on like a little shore, but at the shore's pebbled and he's on a boardwalk or a jetty. His ringleader, maybe two ringleaders, kind of some laughing, so much laughter and fun, so much fun. Jamie feels reluctant, whatever's kind of been proposed or is going to happen, he just feels like a more reluctant party. He's not as keen as some of the other boys. Water sports, boating, going out on the water. I feel like it's dark though. It's at night. There's a risk here. I'm just seeing a cat. I have a black cat with some white socks and white tail, so this may have been a significant cat in Jamie's life, but it's just walked into the scene as if to acknowledge, hey, I'm here with the cat, or I have this beautiful cat. I'm sure the cat's not with him anymore, not with the family anymore. He has the cat. I do feel like there's some a boat, and I'm seeing it as like a rowboat, but I did see kind of various forms like a kayak, but I'm just trying to settle on the boat. So there's a boat absconded, I'm hearing. So maybe seen a boat, decided to take it out on the water. I'm seeing that kind of the drink is made, everyone quite bold. So I do see some splashing, maybe some jumping into the water. The water, frigid, I'm hearing. The water's cold. It's not the right time of year. It's all kind of fun and games. I feel like we've gone out quite far. So we've gone out and maybe around, I don't know if there's a bit of a headland that juts, but it kind of opens up again. And we've gone off towards the left, and maybe we've gone further out than we intended or we realised. I'm only seeing like one single vessel, so I don't know if everyone was decided to join that party, but it's pretty ruckus. Um, I do feel like it's stolen, but kind of not intended to be stolen for a long time, just a good time. There's a bit of kind of, maybe it's powered by an engine because I do feel like there's a bit of smoke, spluttering, we're drifting. Kind of not really worried. We're playing around. I don't know if it's through kind of people jumping off the side, having that kind of thing. I feel Jamie's worried. He feels a bit more sober or a bit more aware of maybe dangers than the rest. It's dark. There are lights that can be seen at the shore, but they seem a long way away. He looks like he's looking around for where he can get support to, okay, fellas, might be time to think about what we're going to do here. There's a combination. It's like alcohol. Maybe someone's deciding to have a wee swim as well, but I feel like there's clothes on to, it's cold, getting dragged down. There's, I'm not sure if it's through actions. I feel like we've capsized or there's water that's coming into the boat or through jumping off the edge, kind of upset the boat. There's water coming into the boat. I feel like it's kind of still fun and games, except for some, doesn't feel like fun and games for Jaime. I think we lose the boat and the boys, I feel like clawing, kind of grabbing each other, going down, not being able to maintain being above the water. It seems very odd, like why was something not found? It's harmless. Just hearing the word goofing again. Um, I do feel like one boy swam further away. Some are kind of holding the boat. A boating accident. Just seeing if there's anything. Surely something floated um, to shore, or it was like a. I feel like the boat was fairly empty. There might have been like a rope in the bottom. Misadventure. Being a younger girl, so I feel like Jaime may have had a younger sister, perhaps a brother as well. I do feel like he may have played sport. I'm seeing kind of a matching t-shirt and cap, which indicates if it's baseball. He did quite well. He's quite a humble kind of guy. I'm just hearing it was a tragedy, a massive loss, a loss of young lives. Maybe all lives were lost in this scenario. If it was a lake, it was very big lake, feels very open. Seeing if there's any clues. So there's clue, is it like a mooring or a rope? Obviously, with no boat attached to it anymore, no like vehicle, water vehicle missing. I'm seeing that they may have been seen by someone, like near some sheds or on a marina or something along those lines, like a group of boys passing by, almost like shadows. Also, maybe a bottle, kind of empty bottle left nearby on the dock. I feel like before they kind of came to that area, which feels quite quiet, they were in a more built up area. Maybe there's some properties, or maybe they were sitting on the lake or shore edge some point, and there are other people around, so that perhaps they were noted. I'm hearing inebriated. Coast Guard's been called. There's searches. I am seeing perhaps this was at night. I'm seeing kind of like spotlights, and maybe they had travelled there and that's why they're there as a group, because I'm seeing like the tragedy. There's a bus, but there's no, this group of boys is not on the bus. It's travelling, like it's empty. They're missing. I'm hearing it's mysterious. Okay. There's question marks around what happened. Foul play is considered. This was through the boys' own folly, like a group, a band of brothers on my left-hand shoulder, arms around each other's shoulders. They look happy they're together. They're like, got each other. They're having a good time still. They're doing all right. Some did not even really realize what happened. There was heavy drinking going on. I'm also hearing blackout. So it's like they're kind of laughing, going, what happened? What the? Jamie wants to give his family a hug. I feel like it's got the cat, mum, dad, sister, brother. He's okay. He knew there was problems. He he was concerned. It was peaceful. He loves them. I'm just hearing they got carried away.